Hi friends, Robert here from Diverse Opals. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for leaving comments on our videos. It's appreciated. Today, as you can see, I'm holding a beautiful piece of Coober Pedy material. Now this type of material is the sort of thing that most miners get excited about and really look forward to finding. And we are going to go through the grinding processes and try and reveal what may be hidden underneath this top layer of dirt. So let's do a quick weight. We'll have a look and see what sort of weight this unit is. Sorry, what sort of weight this stone is. Well, it's just on 30 carats. So if we look at this as a starting point, we'll come back to this scale at the end of the process and see what we can actually salvage from this piece.
Okay, here we are in front of the grinder now, and we've got on closer inspection perhaps a weaker section of colour on the top. It looks like it's maybe a potch bar. There is some colour in it, but not a lot. The real intensity is in the middle. And so we have a almost uniform thickness of crystal colour here. And so what we'll do is we will grind this section off here and have a bit of a look. And we may also grind around here as well, just to determine where this bar goes. I'm just going to have a look through the stone for any imperfections, cracks or dirt or whatever may be there. I still feel that more needs to be taken off the top. I believe that the best colour is yet to be it seems to me that there is a better play of colour on the lower side here, and that's what I've been chasing with taking this off of here. But it's a little bit tricky at the present because we don't want to waste material, we don't want to lose material. So I mean, it's pretty as it is, but we may actually achieve slightly better colour if we go a little bit deeper. So we'll have a think. Having a look at the stone again, I'm thinking that perhaps to carve this might be a better return, make a bigger size stone. So what I'm going to do is to clean up around the edges, clean up around here, and take off the back, and we'll see how things look then. It's not bad because the colour is fairly consistent all across the face. So we'll keep going, we'll clean up around the edge and we'll see what sort of stone we can get out of this. It's just about gone. That's it. So now we'll clean up the back. A bit of potch on the back which we should take off to lighten up. It doesn't need to be that heavy. Prior to removing the dirt, I was feeling that perhaps this wasn't going to produce that crystal red that I was looking for. It was still looking grey. By removing the little bit of dirt below the surface, it actually revealed the crystal bar to me. Sometimes material can look fantastic from the side but doesn't always face, and that was my fear. But now those fears have all been allayed because we can see just how beautiful the stone is. We're just working with taking out the dirt in the back. We want as clean a stone as possible, so I'm just working to take away this dirt here. Yes, from the right angle, right in the right angle, it's a beautiful stone. So it's a little bit directional, but yeah, this dirt's a bit hard to get out. This might end up being a double-sided stone.
Yep.
I hope that these little spots of dirt don't turn into little white, these brown spots turn into little white spots. Bit of a nuisance, really. This is the outcome on the grinder. We will now head to just let me slow that down. I'm going to go to the sander, and we will start with coarser grades of paper and work our way through to a final result. But I'm very happy with the colour that we have now. I wasn't too sure to begin with, but yes, this is looking a bit more like I expected. Alright, so now we're on the sander. I like to dry sand because I can see scratch patterns very quickly. And as always, wear a mask. If you're a bit unsure about your safety, wear a pair of gloves, but I think that they're a bit of a problem in themselves. So just be prepared that you have to be careful, because your fingernails and your skin can be taken off if you're not real careful. So, but I've been doing this for a while, so I'm sort of used to it. Occasionally you get a cut from the sandpaper, so just going to work my way around. I always like to do the outside of the stone first. I like to just see how things are turning out. So work our way around the outside. I'm just going to slow the speed of this down now. Fortunately, I have the luxury of being able to change the speed of my dental lathe to half speed, which is from 3000 RPM down to 1500 RPM. And I'm doing this just so I'm not grinding or not sanding as quickly. So I like that as an option on my sander. It just requires a little bit more skill if you're just going to continue on using 3000 RPM. So I think we're just about done on our first grade of 240. Now, because we've done all the removing of all of the deeper gouges with the 240, working on the 400 doesn't take as long. So this stage won't take very long at all. Just take the sharp edges off the top and the bottom of the stone. And I think we're almost ready for the 600. We're reaching the stages now where the surface is becoming quite a bit fine, and it's actually becoming a little bit more difficult to hold. So it will start to slip out of your hands if you're doing this by hand. Of course, if you're doing it on a dopstick, you won't have that problem. We'll take off the 400 and we will put on the 600, and this may be our final grade. I'll just have a look after the step, and if I think it needs a little bit of fine finishing on a 1200, we might go to a 1200 as well, but that will definitely be our final grade. So we'll go with the 600 now. Generally 600 I'm actually quite happy with the finish, and inserting the 400 in this particular process I think is going to make it a lot easier to get a polish off of 600. I'll just go back to the 1500 speed and just gently take off these edges. Using a moderate pressure to be able to do this. Of course, if you're using a 3000 speed, you probably wouldn't be pressing terribly hard because it'll actually start to grind quite a bit away or sand quite a bit away. So I'm just going to speed it up again to do the back, which is quite attractive in its own right. Sometimes edges can take a little bit more time to polish, but we're here now, so it won't take much longer just to go around it one more time. So now we'll be off to the polisher. Alright, well now we're onto the leather buff, and we're on the home straight. We'll just make sure there's enough water on there. It won't take very long to bring in the polish. It just depends on whether or not we can get into all the little grooves on the edge of the buff. So yes, I'm using O-pol polishing powder. I find this to be very good for opal polishing. And my preference for a buff is in fact a leather buff. I know there are many people out there that use felt, but when it comes to doing this type of work, I prefer a leather buff. The buff's a little bit dry. As I've said in my previous videos, if you're you're into the workshop and you know that you will be polishing on the day, give it a good spray, allow the moisture to saturate into the buff. Be careful if you're using the edge of the buff that you don't use a lot of pressure. Make sure you've got adequate polishing powder on there and water, because if you don't, you will effectively overheat the stone and potentially crack it. So keep those things in mind. Here it is, friends. This is the way it looks, and after I finish cleaning up my hands and cleaning up the stone just a little bit more, we'll have a look at what the return has been.
Well, here we are back from the workshop, and we've been working on a 30 carat stone from Coober Pedy. I initially thought it would be 2 stones, but a small amount of dirt appeared in the surface of the top, and in the process of trying to take it out, I was getting further and further into the colour bar. And fortunately, through this process, we were able to reveal better colour. I wasn't sure that it was in fact going to produce the colour that I was hoping for, because from the side it would look like a very beautiful stone. But sometimes you don't get stones facing the way you'd like. But I'm happy with the way this turned out, and even the back of the stone is quite pretty. You've got a bit of a jelly backing on it, but still, it's still a pretty stone. So what started out as a 30 carat stone is now a 12 carat stone, and I'm happy with it. I think it's a very pretty stone, a very beautiful stone, in fact. And it's been a worthwhile exercise. I hope you've actually enjoyed seeing this, and I'd encourage you to continue to subscribe and leave comments, and come back and join us for our next video. So I'm Robert for Diverse Opals. Thank you for watching.